have you ever wondered what it really takes to get a multi-million-dollar AI project off the ground? It's not just about the cool tech. It's about a high-stakes business case. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the unseen blueprint that turns a massive idea into an actual reality. Let's dive right in.
But hang on. Before we get to the shiny new solution, we have to understand the problem. Because this whole thing isn't really about a new piece of technology. It's about avoiding a potential disaster. And the question that keeps executives up at night is this one. What is the real price of getting AI wrong?
You see, any big project proposal has to start by making a powerful case for change. And you know what the best way to do that is? You show the absolutely massive cost of doing nothing at all.
So, how in the world do you put a price tag on risk? Well, let's start with security. According to IBM, a single data breach costs the company, on average, over $4 million. Now just imagine a poorly designed AI system that has access to all of your most sensitive data. That becomes a huge, blinking target for a very, very expensive failure.
And it's not just about hackers. You've got to worry about the regulators too. Rules like GDPR, well, they have teeth. Big ones. If you don't comply, you could get fined up to 4% of your global annual revenue. For a big company, that is not a slap on the wrist. That's a multi-million-dollar penalty that can absolutely cripple a budget.
So let's add it all up. You got the risk of huge fines, the fallout from data breaches, you're falling behind your competitors, and everything is just plain inefficient. When you put all that together, you get a pretty conservative estimate of the annual cost of just doing nothing. A cool $12 million. Every single year.
Okay, so with a $12 million problem literally burning a hole in their pocket every single year, the company in this case study had a huge decision to make. They were staring down 3 totally distinct paths, and they had to pick one. Let's see what they were. This quote right here, it just nails it. Think about it. You would never ever build a skyscraper without a solid, incredibly detailed blueprint, right? Of course not. Well, AI is no different. If you rush in or you try to cut corners, you're not just risking a little bug in the system, you are setting yourself up for a spectacular collapse.
All right, so here are the first 2 options they looked at. Option 1, do nothing. Just kick the can down the road. It costs you $0 today, but you're still on the hook for that $12 million annual risk. Then you have option 2, the tempting shortcut, a partial fix with a cheaper off-the-shelf product. It's quick, sure, but it's basically like putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg.
And then there's option 3, the full blueprint. This is the skyscraper approach we were just talking about. No shortcuts here. It's a custom-built plan designed from the ground up to be secure, to be scalable, and to be a perfect fit for what this company uniquely needs. Yeah, it's a bigger investment up front, for sure, but it is built to last.
So, which path do you take? Well, this slide just lays it all out in black and white. Doing nothing? That's financial suicide. A $60 million loss over 5 years. The partial fix is, well, it's better, but the full blueprint is the clear winner. Just look at that net value and the ROI. I mean, the numbers are undeniable. The most thorough option is also, by far, the most profitable one.
Okay, so the full blueprint gets the green light. Awesome. But what does a multi-million-dollar, 18-month AI project actually look like on the inside? Let's break down its anatomy.
The whole project is broken down into 4 really logical phases. First, you have to figure out what you're even working with. That's the assessment phase. Then, you design the future. That's the actual blueprint. Next up is the heavy lifting, building and integrating everything. And finally, and this is crucial, you don't just flip a switch and walk away. You fine-tune the system, and you train the people who are actually going to use it day to day.
And here's how that all unfolds over a year and a half. I mean, this is not a weekend project. It's an 18-month strategic journey. You can see the key milestones right there, from kickoff all the way to completion. This kind of long-term thinking is exactly what it takes to build something that's not only going to last, but also deliver real, tangible value. So how do you keep an 18-month project from going completely off the rails with a million new ideas and feature requests? Well, you set up a change control board, or a CCB. And you can just think of it as the project's Supreme Court. Any new idea has to be argued in front of this group. This process is absolutely critical. It's what prevents scope creep and keeps everything on time and on budget.
Now the plan is solid, but let's be real, it's not cheap. So now we get to the big question that everyone in the boardroom wants answered. How do you justify the investment? How do you prove this is the right move financially?
This chart, wow, it really puts it all into perspective.
The total cost of the project over 5 years is about $1.95 million, and the benefits it's expected to generate, a whopping $12 million. That is more than a 6 times return on the investment. It's a no-brainer.
Or hey, let's put it another way. The return on investment, or ROI, is 180%. So what does that mean? It means for every single dollar you put into this project, you get back that dollar plus another 80 cents in pure value. That is a powerful financial argument right there.
And the best part, you won't have to wait very long to see that return. The payback period is just over 2 years. So by month 25, the project has completely paid for itself. Everything after that, that's all pure profit for the company.
Finally, we get to the ultimate metric, net present value, or NPV. Now, this is kind of a fancy way of calculating the project's total profit in today's dollars. Because, a dollar today is worth more than a dollar 5 years from now. An NPV of $4.5 million just makes the financial case undeniable. This isn't a cost, it's a highly profitable investment.
But it's not all about the money. A project this important isn't really a success unless it fundamentally changes how the business works, for the better. So beyond the balance sheet, how do you measure that kind of real-world success?
What's so great about this plan is how specific the goals are. I mean, we're talking about going from 2 data breaches a year down to 0. That's a huge win for security and for customer trust. And look at that report generation time. Slashing it from 8 hours, a full workday, down to just 2. That is a massive boost in efficiency. This is where you really see the real-world impact.
So we've walked through the entire blueprint, from identifying a multi-million-dollar problem all the way to building the business case for a robust, long-term solution. And that brings us to a final thought. This was the plan for just one company. It really makes you wonder, how many other invisible, high-stakes decisions just like this are being made in boardrooms right now, quietly shaping the AI future that we are all about to live in?